All right, let's dive into what could be Apple's next huge play. If you thought the Pro models were the top of the mountain for Apple devices, well, recent reports are suggesting the company's already scouting out an even higher peak. Let's get right into it.
For years, right, that one little word, Pro, has been the signal for the best of the best from Apple. It's the go-to for power users, for creators, for anyone who just wants the absolute top-tier stuff. But a new question is starting to bubble up. What comes after Pro?
And it looks like the answer is Ultra. All the reports are pointing to a brand new tier, a whole new level of performance and features that's going to sit way above the Pro models we have now. And we're not talking about just a minor step up here. This sounds like a whole new category.
Now, here's what makes this so interesting: the sheer scale of it all. This doesn't seem like a one-off experiment. The rumor mill is buzzing about a triple threat. 3 of Apple's biggest product lines are all supposedly getting this new Ultra treatment. So what's the lineup? Well, it's a grand tour of Apple's most iconic products. We're talking about the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and of course the MacBook. Each one of these could be getting a new, ultimate version that just completely redefines what top of the line even means.
Let's kick things off with the big one, the iPhone. For so many of us, this is the center of the Apple universe, right? So an Ultra model here, that would make some serious waves.
So you might be wondering, how does this actually fit in? Are we going to have a 5th iPhone model to choose from? Well, the speculation is probably not. Instead, it seems like the Ultra would basically absorb and replace the current top dog, the Pro Max. It would be a major rebrand, and you'd have to imagine a major upgrade to justify that new name.
And what exactly makes it Ultra? Well, the rumors are pretty wild. We're talking about a camera system that goes way beyond what even the Pro models have, maybe even with a periscope lens. Can you imagine the kind of insane zoom a photographer could get with that? Then there's talk of a completely new design, maybe even that futuristic, buttonless body people have been whispering about for years. And of course, it's got to be powered by an even faster chip.
Okay, next up, let's look at how this all builds on something Apple has actually already done. See, the Ultra name isn't totally new to us. We've already seen it on the Apple Watch.
That's right. It was back in 2022 that Apple first introduced the Apple Watch Ultra. You remember? The super rugged, high-end model made for adventurers and athletes. And you know what? It was a huge hit. It totally proved that people were hungry for a more extreme, more capable version of their products.
So, what's next for the watch? Well, a new version is expected this year, and the upgrades sound pretty significant. We could be looking at an even larger display, and, this is the exciting part, a switch to micro-LED screen technology. Now that would mean a screen that's way brighter and more vibrant, which is great for seeing it in sunlight. But it's also more power efficient. And on a device you wear 24/7, getting more battery life is, a total game changer.
And that brings us to the third part of this trio, the one that could unleash a level of performance we've never seen before in a laptop, the MacBook.
The thinking here is that Apple would take its most powerful laptop, the MacBook Pro, and just give it the ultimate engine. The rumor is a machine powered by a next-generation M3 Ultra chip. That would just push it into a performance class all by itself.
So what does Ultra even mean when we're talking about Apple's chips? It is not just a little speed bump. Historically, the Ultra chip is literally 2 of their Max chips fused together, creating an absolute monster of a processor. This whole setup gives it a massive amount of memory bandwidth and cores, which is exactly what you need for the craziest tasks you can think of, like a VFX artist rendering a complex 3D scene or a video editor juggling multiple 8K streams without even breaking a sweat.
So, we've gone through the what, the iPhone, the watch, the MacBook. But now for the bigger question, the why. Why is Apple even doing this? Why create this new, even more exclusive tier?
It really all boils down to setting things apart. The Pro line is already the benchmark for professionals, for high-end users. But the Ultra line? That seems to be for the extreme user. The person who's not just editing a video, but rendering a Hollywood movie on their laptop. It's for people who want the absolute bleeding edge with zero compromises.
And, from a business perspective, the logic here is crystal clear. First, you create a new, even more premium tier, something for people to aspire to. Second, it really separates the very best model from the rest of the pack, making the choice simpler. And third, well, let's be real, it's a way to increase the average selling price of their devices by offering a product with an even higher price tag. When you boil it all down, it comes to this. The Ultra brand is being set up to mean the absolute pinnacle. The very best technology, the best design, and the best performance that Apple can possibly cram into a product. It's really a statement about what's possible.
And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. As our tech gets more and more powerful, are we seeing a future where the true flagship experience becomes more and more exclusive? This move from Apple could be a sign that the very idea of a top-tier device is splitting, creating this new ultra-premium space for those who demand and can afford the absolute best. Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining this explainer.